there. And wait, did I hit the button? No, I did hit the button. What an embarrassing start. So this is Thursday, November 19th, and Friday, November 20th, as we're going to get into a story about dead teenagers. I mean, how do you go wrong with a poem about dead teenagers? If it helps, we're going to read a second poem, which is going to talk about why it's depressing to be in junior high. So we're going to get through two fun poems today, one about dead teenagers and one about being depressed in junior high. So it's going to be all kinds of fun learning for you guys today. And we're going to bring back more chat challenge. Hang on, I have to reset the chat challenge from yesterday. And we're going to bring back the getting to yell at Mr. Broviac game until you guys make a poor choice and get it taken away, which right now my estimate is 3 questions in, we're going to have to take away the yelling at Mr. Broviac game. But for those 3 questions, it may be a dream come true. By the way, when we get to December, I also have a Santa hat that I will also wear, but it's not Santa hat time for me yet. I'm not trying to flex on you because you guys, by the way, it feels like it's a regular Among Us in here with all the random hats you guys have on at times. It feels like, Mr. Broviac, look, I've got little horns. Mr. Broviac, look, there's a miniature version of me. And so, yeah, I played the game too. Anyway, back to here. Now let's go with, in this class, we're not bad. We're down to like 7 kids who have not turned in the homework, which is much better than first period. If any first period kids ever watch this, my God, children, I have 28 kids in first period and 12 have turned in the homework. 12 of 28 is that math. I'm not good at math, but that's like 35 kids who have not turned in the homework in that class. So my goodness gracious in there. Mr. Broviac, you weren't kidding about not being good at math. That's obviously 42. Obviously it's 42. No, Jesus has a bigger beard. It's okay. And so turn in the homework to try and make me happier and stuff like that. And yes, we're going to look at that. Uh-oh. You don't have to be home for me to deliver it. So yes, I'm going to be delivering second round of books for my advanced, my regular classes. I'm delivering those on Sunday. If you're not home, that is absolutely fine with me. You don't have to be home because I put it into your mailbox. If you're not going to be home, just don't tell me to go and ding dong ditch you because that'd be kind of pointless. But I'm more than happy to help you out. Just let me know. Good job. And I'm more than happy to bring book by and put it into your mailbox and stuff like that. If you were wanting me to ding dong ditch you because you want to have creepy bonding, just let me know. By the way, if you tell me to ding dong ditch you, that's also fine. But you realize I double check your address because I had a kid put down someone else's address for the ding dong ditch because they thought they were all kinds of special and smart. I'm smarter than that. I verify it's your house before I just randomly ding dong ditch your neighbor. And you're like, giggle, 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 and think you're the best thing out there. If your mailbox has a lock on it, then either A, don't ask me to drop it off, or B, I'm just going to chuck it at your door. It's your book. Or I'm going to bring duct tape with me and just duct tape it to your mailbox, and then all of a sudden, problem solved. All right. I'm so proud of you, Jeriel, but yes, choices don't make me have to boot a child out. Make a good one from there, whatever random things you're sharing. Anyway, idiom. Everyone who has turned it in, I have graded it. And if you want to fix it, because again, a lot of you guys bombed it because apparently directions are hard. Mr. Broviac, we don't listen to you because you're old. Yeah, I figured that out grading all the homework, that apparently me putting directions on there, you guys took it as a challenge to try and never do it. Like, what? Oh, I thought those were things we're not supposed to do. Because that's how it felt like while I graded it. So anyway, if you realize you're one of my special children that did not follow directions, as an example, in the definitions, you can't use any words from your idiom. I had many kids who said, my idiom, to bite the bullet. Literal definition, to literally bite the bullet. I'm like, what? Right into your throat if you were here. No. Anyway, not me attacking kids. I'm going to go to my happy place. Moving on from there. Turn in the homework. Let me know if you have questions. If you fix it, I will regrade it and upload it and stuff like that. And blah, 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 uploading, blah, 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 thing here. I just wanted to put that on there because 70s bands with big hair just make me happy. And so that's my reminding thing from yesterday because I thought about deleting it. And I'm like, nah, it brings me happiness. And here we go. Back to poemy thing. On poemy thing, I do have one more word we're going to have to define in that notes area that you're going to have to write down. So just to give you a heads up, in about a half hour or so, I'm going to give you one more thing to write down and define, because we still have another quiz coming up. Not this week, but we will eventually have one more quiz that has things to connect to this, because apparently some of you guys are still big dum-dums when it comes to haiku and idioms. So we still have to put things on there. Plus, I'll give you questions about like Annabel Lee and dead teenagers and stuff like that. So I'm just letting you know. And yes, confused kid, I know you can't go to your happy place. We'll just have to learn to deal with that as best we can for now. I'm going to reread poem because I know you've slept since the last time we read poem. And every time you sleep, all the knowledge comes out of your ear into your pillow. So we're going to give one more read. The fact that so many of you nod your heads when I say that you get dumber when you sleep, you're all like, oh my God, yes, I do. Every day I wake up dumber than I've, it just makes me giggle. Because again, you guys don't watch yourselves, but I like having the faces of all you guys so I get a chance to react to it. And the fact that sometimes you don't realize I'm watching all of your faces while I'm teaching, and you're just like, every time, that's what I need, the reactions. So I'm not teaching to a large blank wall. It brings me happiness. Plus, it's really hard to make fun of you if I can't see you. I can't make fun of just a big blank wall. I have to see you to make fun of you, or it doesn't work at all. That's how bonding goes. Don't you threaten me with scissors. Anyway, back to here at your own poem. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to give you guys a chance to do the yelling at Mr. Broviak game in just a second. Kid's trying to kill me with scissors. Annabel Lee. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of the cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her highborn kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, stronger by far than the love of those who are older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night time I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Mr. Broviak, that was beautiful. Thank you. You don't have to tell me that. I knew it down with that. A voice in a movie. I should be the voice of an evil character in a movie, but thank you. I appreciate that one. If it helps, for you guys, the book that we're going to start next week, I recorded the audiobook of it. So you can listen to the entire book in my voice. And it's actually posted to YouTube, and people all around the world listen to it because apparently people like my voice. It's weird and it's creepy. Mr. Broviak, did you just make that up? No, honestly, that one I did not make up. Of all the things I've made up, that one's a true one that we'll get to. It's kind of weird that apparently this book that, anyway, stop distracting me. You horrible children, I blame all of you. Speaking of blaming you, here's where you're going to get a chance to see how many rounds of Let's Yell at Mr. Broviak we get to play. Because I want to go ahead and, I don't know, I've not gone back to check it. All I know is I get fat cash for it. I get no pennies every time someone watches it. And I have a giant pile of my no pennies I keep in the corner of my room because I didn't monetize, because I did it just to make these people, because I'm like a good person or something like that. I don't know. It's like being a teacher. It's not important. But anyway, back to here. Here's how yelling at Mr. Broviak goes before you guys get it taken away. If you're wanting to play, you're going to have to unmute yourself and not sit there and make weird sounds, which apparently was my issue earlier. For some reason, the kid's like, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with that child. So we're going to try and not have that happen to you. So we're going to give you, and by the way, If you find yourself suddenly kicked out, that's because you're one of the kids who had issues, who apparently just makes random sounds. All right, here's how we're going to begin. Because I don't like doing the teaching where I just talk straight at you. I find that really boring. I like to interact with you. So I'm going to ask questions. And we're going to give you guys a chance to respond until we get caught up to where we were before. So as an example, here's how we go first round. With the 2 settings in the poem that are important, what are my 2 settings in the poem?
Sea and kingdom.
Sea and kingdom.
There you go. Again, now I will tell you, it helps to leave yourself unmuted because it has that whole delay thing. We have to reach forward and hit the button and come back. If you want to, I'm not judging too much. I'm giving you a chance to go yelly at me on this one, so enjoy. So yes, we have the kingdom, haunted castle, and then the ocean, which is apparently the best way to kill teenagers. Lily, your sister looks very fuzzy and orange today. She looks adorable. Sorry, hiccuping. I get excited and get all burpy. There we go. Next up, we have 2 main characters in poem. Who are our 2 main characters in poem?
Annabel Lee and the speaker.
There you go.
Annabelle.
Annabel Lee and Dude, who I believe you guys named Jeff yesterday, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Chad or Jeff. And then someone got themselves kicked out because they got all excited about African countries. Again, I think you mean Chad the person, not Chad the country. You know, there. And then again, when you find yourself suddenly booted because you put random things in the chat, don't take it personally. It's just to help you become a better person. So we have both Annabel Lee and Dude. And then how do Annabel Lee and Dude feel about each other?
They love each other.
They love each other.
Love you.
I will admit, on some level, I was kind of hoping, I asked the question wrong. I wanted you guys all just to yell love because I was going to feel like it was aimed at me. It was going to make me feel all special for a moment. But then you said they love each other, which meant not me, and that made me slightly sadder. But that was on my fault. Tomorrow I'll learn how to ask the question better. By the way, congratulations. You've already made it to level 3, which is farther than many of our classes made it when they got it taken away from them. So go you guys flexing on yourselves a little bit there. And then we got to, it was many and many a year ago, which is an allusion or a reference to what?
Fairy
tale.
Fairy
Oh, you
tale.
guys again, fairy tales. And then I think we got to all of that one. And she lived and she loves him and lots of love. Second stanza we got to, I was a child and she was a child. Not creepy baby children, not the kinds that you throw at fences in your backyard. Weird reference.
Young.
How old are they supposed to be in the poem?
Young.
Teenagers.
Young.
Teenagers.
Not old.
Teenagers. Yes, young. We got that part, but that's a really broad spectrum of things. So teenagers, which is also going to play a big part in here because as we know, teenagers don't do what they're supposed to, especially when it comes to listening to parents. So that's, again, going to be the important thing that we get into. Then we got to our creepy love ladder. We have the random people, and then you have your siblings and your friends, and then that special winky person. And that's where many of you made the poor choice of winking at me, and it made like all this like some kind of weird commitment thing we were going on from that one. And then I realized, as I thought about it, when you guys were winking at me, maybe you weren't winking at me, and maybe you guys had like scrolled on the screen and the special someone is in this class, and you were just winking at special someone, and you just didn't realize they couldn't see you at the same time. And then I accidentally like intercepted it, and I'm like, wink, and I caught it, and you're like, no, it wasn't aimed at you. And then it got like all weird and creepy for a moment. At least that's what I tried to convince myself, instead of a room full of kids winking at me. And I'm like, it just got real weird in here. So that's why I had to tell myself last night as I was crying myself to sleep. All right, so back here, and this can. So there, and we have the fact, and we get to, there's the loving of each other, like me loving torturing children. And there, let's go to the winged seraphs who become jealous of all of this love. Apology accepted, it happens. And then on this one, what are winged seraphs?
Angels.
Angels.
High level date.
You said high level angels. For a second, I thought you were yelling, I love you again, and I got excited, but you were saying high level, and someone else's voice had cut you off, so I was confused for a second there. And I was like, you love me again? Like, oh, just high level angels. You're correct. The highest level flappy flaps up there, made out of pure love and things like that. Then we got to the jealousy, And that's where all of a sudden the angels get jealous, not of me, although they should be, because I am the embodiment of love. When you look at me, I know it's the first thing you guys think of. You're just like, Mr. Broviak, you're the embodiment of love. I'm like, oh, stop it. But apparently the angels are even more loved than I am. It's not important about we're talking about crying ourselves to sleep. We're not going to focus on that. The fact that whoever cries themselves to sleep for whatever reasons, it's not important. We're all teenagers here in our hearts. Some of us are just teenagers in old man bodies.
Teenager.
Mr. Broviak, you're making it creepier. Shh, don't pay attention to that. And then we get to stanza 3, and we're going to make it less creepy by killing a teenager. Mr. Broviak, I don't think you know what less creepy is. And here is where we get to death of teenager. Well, not yet. I apologize. I lied to you. She's not dead yet. She just gets sick, which is the beginning of it. What is it that makes Annabel Lee get sick in poem? Did we get to that with you guys?
She
Hypothermia.
didn't wear a coat
Cold.
when it was too cold
Cold.
outside. She died of hypothermia.
Cold. You really got me details on it. Go you, the cold wind. And by the way, thank you guys for not making fun of my Brovy art like the other kids in my class periods who were making fun of the fact that all of a sudden her head got really tiny in this picture. And they're like, what happened to her head? Why did it get so small? I'm like, I don't know.
How
The wind was
dare
blowing so
them.
hard.
I thought it was a little
How
bug that figure
dare-
in that little, what's it called, like little neck piece.
That's
that
wonderful
was blue,
art.
was the face.
I thought it was a tree.
Well, it's a
Please provide it.
tree.
That's a very colorful tree.
So we got that far. I know my Brovy art is fantastic. Thank you. I felt the same way. A bunch of haters hating on my wonderful Brovy art and all the wonderful things I was bringing to it. I know you were saying good. Anyway, back to here. We have Death of Girl, the Cold Wind. I did get to the story yesterday about how she doesn't pay attention to her parents and stuff like that. We covered that one. That's what it makes sure. Okay. I didn't want to have to regale you guys with the story about a girl dying again. I was just making stuff like that one. Yeah, Lily, there is something wrong with your sister. I mean, I'm sure you're probably aware of such things, but I figured I'd just sort of throw that out there for you. And we have girl, and then we get to, did we talk about kinsman with you guys yesterday? Was that thing? All right, so we got to the fact that her family comes along. Max screams a lot of things. It brings Max happiness. Did we talk about her highborn kinsman and the fact that essentially he is a gold digger because he's poor as far as we can tell, and her family's all rich and like she's like a Kardashian level family and like royalty and things along those lines, and he's not that, and he was like, I'm gonna go get my money, and then she dies and he's like, I'm not gonna get no money. And so the fact that she's from this rich family, and we have issues from there. Then I know we did not get to this next part. We finally get to our first chat challenge. So here's what's coming up. Hang on. I know. I'm excited too. Let's activate chat challenge. All right. So in poem, we have up to this point where she's gotten really sick and her rich family comes and rips her away from dude and they can't be around each other anymore. Then they're going to go and put her into a sepulcher, which is a big fancy thing. I'm not going to ask you what a sepulcher is because I know you can just hit the button on your iPad and go, Siri, what's a sepulcher? And Siri is going to go, a sepulcher is where you put dead people. You're going to go, oh. And so essentially, a sepulcher, as Siri just told you, for those of you who just got done trying to cheat and ask Siri, it's an above ground burial thing. So they're putting her in this above ground burial thing. Here is where our chat challenge question comes in. This is not the first time we have talked about an above ground burial thing and something being buried in this above ground burial thing. Here's my question. What other poem that we read also dealt with an above ground burial thing that played an important role in that poem? Here's our chat challenge, and we have, you are correct, caterpillar. So that was the whole cocoon. Looks like Blaze, who says, hey, I want my point back for my poor choice, and then magically gets his point back for his poor. Look at that, making it rain. Go you is correct. So caterpillar with the whole, in caterpillar, they use the word mausoleum, and here they use the word sepulcher. They're the same thing. It's an above ground burial thing. This is going to play an important role in the poem. So on this one, what's going to happen is they're not burying her underground. They're literally putting her in this above ground tomb where you open a door and you get to walk inside of it. Remember that when we get to the end of the poem. All right. No, we did not get a chance to read the lottery, so that's when we had to skip. We had to cut that story, unfortunately. I know, it makes me sad too, because it's another story about death, but we just ran out of time. Back to here. So stanza 4, here's our issue. Girl dead. Boy does not take girl dead very well, so he gets kind of upset, to say the least, and he comes up with an idea. He realizes it's not an accident that she died. It was not a random wind that killed his woman. No, 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 no. Someone is responsible for killing his woman. And that brings us to stanza 4, where he says, the angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and made, yes, that was the reason, as all men know, this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. So on this one, he has a reason. He says it was not an accident that his woman died. I'm not making this a chat challenge, so I figure it's probably pretty easy. Yeah, you're pretty accurate on that one. Who does he think killed his woman? If he's saying it was not an accidental wind, who is he saying did it then? Because he says it most definitely is someone responsible for it. Sorry, you were talking while I was on that one, so I didn't get a chance to hear you. I forgive you.
Seraphims, the high angels.
You are correct. He is convinced it was not an accident that she died. He is convinced the angels assassinated his woman. If you watch the screen with my Brovi art, he says essentially the angels did a 360 no scope and killed his woman and then just dropped her dead right there. And he's like, no, my girl. And the angels, being the horrible, evil creatures they are, shot her with their wings because, I mean, they're angels. What else are they going to use? They're like that. He's like, no, killed her dead. Mr. Broviak, if the angels were going to kill her, why wouldn't the angels kill both of them? Good question. Now, this one, if you have an idea, I will take hand raising on this one because it's more than you can just yell at me. The angels have a reason why they only killed a girl and not both of them, because killing both of them would not solve the angels' problem. Antoinette, why do the angels only kill the girl and not both of them?
Because they want to be in love with him.
Ooh, not bad. Wait, you say the angels want to be in love with him? Ooh, you're thinking too good. Your heart is still too pure, Antoinette. You have to think more like an evil angel. Ethan, is your heart more like an evil angel?
Because he loved her more than she loved him.
Ooh, on the right track, but your heart is not evil enough.
I know.
It should make me happy that your heart is not that
I
evil.
know.
Mina,
Yeah.
what's up then?
I think the angels want him to feel pain.
You're on the right track. More so than just the pain, but you're close. Delaney?
Maybe like, so if they killed both of them, he wouldn't be lonely.
Yeah, because they'll both be
And
together.
since they killed one, he's just lonely, you know?
Nicely done.
Thank
So
you.
there you go.
Thank you.
So the idea of the angels, their goal is they have to get rid of this love. The only way to get rid of this love is to separate them. So the angels just kill her. If they kill both of them, Dude and Annabel Lee both go up to heaven, and their love goes nowhere, and it gets multiplied by angel love, and then they become like angel superheroes and go out and fight crime. And that's the last thing the angels want. So the angels, being the crafty, devious things they are, they only kill her. And then instead of killing him, they go, and they leave him alive. Now she's dead, and but Mr. Broviak, can't he just kill himself and join her?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I was going to.
Because according to the biblical lore, if you kill yourself, that's murder, and you don't go that direction.
Homicide
Go
equals
a different direction.
Well,
And
all he needs to
then-
do is wait then.
So that does solve the angel's problem. If he kills himself, the angels still
criminals
win
kill him.
because they're not going to be together and with each other. So
Mr.
that's why the angels
question.
just kill one of them to solve that problem.
I have a question.
Yes, Jerry L, what's up?
If he hires somebody else to kill him, is it still self-homicide? Since he
I
was the
think
one
so.
doing it?
Because your question is, can you trick God? And I think usually the answer is no. I don't think that's how God works. Himself, herself, turtle self. I don't think God's like, hey, you, dang it, you got me on that one. I think it's still like the intent is there. I mean, I'm not stopping you. I mean, I don't think that's something you guys should be like, Mr. Broviak, I'm going to prove you wrong. Don't go out and try to prove me wrong. Like, I beat God. Because then even if you win, you lose. So that's probably not the best path to take on that one. Antoinette, what's up, dear?
Why didn't they kill him and not, like, why didn't they just kill him and not her?
Oh, because women are weaker. Just kidding. I have no idea. I'm gonna.
Wait, why are you saying just kidding? It's a proven fact.
Bro,
I don't
that's
know what you're talking
sexist.
about. Nah, bro, it's a proven fact. I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Bro, that's sexist.
So the reason that she died is because in reality, the angels didn't kill anybody. She just made a poor choice and went out there and got sick. And he's just trying to find an excuse on that one. Definitely not because of that other thing, because, you know, issues. So anyway, she's dead. He's alive. But now he starts going, oh, that sounds adorable. And now we have this issue popping up where he is starting to go insane, where he starts saying that the line where it says, yes, that was the reason is all
No.
men know this kingdom by the sea. That's
No.
he's now going around yelling at everybody in town, going,
No.
the angels killed my woman. The angels
He
are
was
coming."
always insane.
He was not always insane. He was a
Yes, he
teenager.
was.
He might have had issues. I mean, and so now he's running around trying to tell everybody the angels killed his woman. And the people in town are going, dude, the angels didn't kill
Hey,
your girl.
bro.
They're like, it just happens. Like, no, it was the angels. The angels are coming to get your women. Hide your women because the angels are going to get them. He's running around screaming. And the people are like, dude, you have to settle down because he's completely lost his muffin. Mr. Broviak lost his muffin. It's an idiom that I just made up that's going to catch on all the time now. You're going to see a crazy person and go, that dude lost his muffin. And it's going to be a thing. I swear. I'm going to make fetch happen. So she's dead. So then, as he continues going down the path of craziness, he comes up with an idea. As he continues to argue with people, he realizes they're right. The angels didn't kill his woman. They had help. And he realizes it was teamwork that killed his woman. And that's where stanza 5 comes in, as he realizes it was a teamwork issue. Where he says, but our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who are older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. His issue here, again, I don't know if you guys know what puppy love is. Puppy love is like whenever a teenager falls in love and your parents dismiss it. When you're like, I love Joey Jojo. Joey Jojo's the best thing in the world, and Joey Jojo loves me, and we're going to be together forever. Your parents are like, you're 13. You're like, true love starts at 13. And you yell at your parents. They yell back like, that's puppy love. Someday you're going to fall in love with someone else. You're like, I'm never going to love with anyone. Bobby's kind of cute. I like Bobby now. And you move on to the next. So that's the idea here is all the people in town are like, listen, dude, you're a teenager. You're going to fall in love with someone else. It's like, no one's as beautiful as Annabel Lee. I know Annabel Lee. And he gets all angry and yelling at them. So that beginning part of it there is when he gets all angry and yelly, he's going through and saying, our love is stronger than those of older than us and wiser than us. I don't care that old people say that I'm crazy. I don't care that wise people say that I'm crazy. They don't understand what it's like being me. And he realizes, you're right. The angels couldn't have done this on their own. The angels needed help. And that last part of it, who is it he thinks is helping the angels to kill his woman? Who is teaming up with the angels?
Satan.
Not bad. Demons and Satan. He says they're working together. when you get to a point in your life that you think that your girlfriend was not only killed by angels, but that angels and demons are high-fiving each other in an attempt to kill your woman, that's probably not a good sign for your mental health, because that's where he's gotten to. He's like, it's the angels and the demons. They're working together. Angels and demons are the same thing. They're coming for your women. You got to watch out. And he's all kinds of crazy and having issues. So we get to this last part where it says, my soul can never be dissevered from her soul. Essentially, what it's saying is, like old people, when they hug each other and their wrinkles mesh up like Velcro and they can't separate again, that's how his soul is with Annabel Lee. They're like old people. Sorry, didn't mean to make you guys throw open your mouth on that one. Old people hugging is not horrible. It's just disgusting. But anyway, and so that's how their souls are. Their souls are stuck together and they can't be separated. Even if she's dead, death is not enough to separate their souls. So he comes up with a plan to prove to the angels that they can't win. His plan is, there is something wrong with that child, that even if you kill his woman, things are still going to go his way. We get to stanza 6, where we get to Creepy Town. Here's where the fun comes in. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night time, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulcher there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Mr. Broviak, that doesn't sound creepy at all. Give me just a moment. Let me help you out and figure out why it's creepy. Nina, there's a random girl walking around your room. I don't want her to sneak up on you and kill you. That's my way of trying to help you out on that one. I just saved your life. Lily, you know there's a random kid walking around your room. She keeps hitting you with a snowman. I'm sorry. Did you know that, Lily, that some doors have locks on them to keep older sisters out, and you can just shut the door? I know. Or just put like your furniture in front of it. Sorry, I'm watching one of my kids get beat up by a random older sibling that came in and is hitting her with a snowman. They have no respect for learning. Ooh, good alliteration. You're correct. That is an example of alliteration. So here, he tries to get better, but every time he goes out at night, he looks up at this moon and he thinks of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And then he looks around and he sees the stars and he realizes he's not seen anything as beautiful as those stars since Annabel Lee. He goes, you know what? I can't move on. I give up. I love Annabel Lee, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove to the angels that just because she's dead, we still love each other. So here's my question. Did any of you figure out what he does at end of poem to prove to the angels that just because she's dead, it does not mean they get to win? And if you're not going creepy, not all the way there, I can help you out with this. It has to do with the fact, ooh, you're on the right track, Antoinette, but you didn't quite go creepy enough with him burying himself alive. Because again,
resurrect her.
He would if he could, but I like the use of resurrection, by the way. But he is not. Ooh, Ethan, you are the closest so far. Finley, nicely done, Finley. You have the love level of a creepy person. I mean that as a compliment. So here's what he ends up doing. Oh, Blaze, you are on the right track, actually. You are frighteningly close. To prove to the angels that they can't win, every night when the sun goes down, he goes down to her tomb, opens giant tomb door, goes inside, pushes top off of where she's buried, crawls inside, lays down next to her, and sleeps next to her dead body every single night. That's his way of proving to the angels they can't win. Now, here's the problem that you guys have. Your thought is, Mr. Broviak, that's disgusting and ucky. The reason you think that's disgusting and ucky is because your love is not strong enough. Remember the love ladder? And you're only going to reach this level? Her love and their love is way up here because he's not cuddling a dead body. He's cuddling the person that he loves. If you had strong enough love, you would understand this. But Mr. Broviac, I'm not a crazy person. You know who says that? Someone who doesn't have enough love. That's who says that. And so that's where his love comes in, and it's all right. There is a second way to determine the end of this poem. Here's how the second ending is. The other way of saying it is he does not go in there and sleep next to her every night because that's too crazy for anybody. Instead, the answer is what he does is every night while he sleeps, he dreams that he is dead and with her. Then every morning wakes up and goes about his day, and then every night dreams that he's buried in there with her. Oh, well, that's much less creepy. I agree. But well, which one is it? Poe never tells us. Poe leaves it up to you to decide in the poem, how crazy does the man become? Personally, me, it's a teenager. The boy crazy. I fully believe he's going into that thing every night because most teenagers are completely insane. But if you're not ready to accept that, and you're like, no, Mr. Broviac, no teenagers that insane, then you're welcome to accept the other one, which I give you as a gift so that you don't lose your sanity. But deep down in your heart, you know the boy's crazy. All right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. By the way, that's not up there because he's in there with her. That's up there because it's a poem about teenagers. And as soon as you think about teenagers, you're like, teenagers are ucky. I feel the same way.
I have 3, so I would know.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jeriel. That sounds scary. Here is my last term to have you guys find a place to write down and define. It is going to be the word refrain. Now, you guys might know the word refrain as in to not do something, as in you should refrain from putting something bad into chat because you're going to get kicked out. That's a different kind of refrain. This refrain is like from choir and orchestra, poetry, from music. A refrain is a line that gets repeated in a poem or a song. You mean like a chorus? Yeah, a chorus usually has a refrain in it, where you have to go through there and have a line that gets repeated over and over again. So a refrain is a line that gets repeated over and over in a poem. In a moment, we're going to jump back to Annabel Lee because Annabel Lee is great for this because it has 2 refrains that work throughout the entire poem. The screen is getting ready to disappear, by the way, just to let you know, but you don't need it. Seriously, the definition is like 4 words long. Line that gets repeated. Line that gets, seriously, 4 words. Line that gets repeated. That's all you need to know. In our poem, Annabel Lee, we have 2 refrains that happen throughout the poem. Can you find my 2 refrains that get repeated throughout the poem? I guess I should. Hang on. Let's make it a chat challenge. There's 2 different ones. Oh, never mind. You already beat me to it. Not bad. Ethan, since you already put it in there, we're going to go ahead and give you the point. And then we'll go ahead and... There is a second one besides Annabel Lee and C. We already have Annabel Lee and C. We already have, wait. And then Kingdom by the Sea. Kate got my other one. Nicely done, Kate. That was my second one. So that was Ethan for one. And that one, so hang on. Give you your point. And then shout out to Kate on that one. Nicely done. And so if you look at it, we have one is in this kingdom by the sea, as it gets repeated multiple times. And the other one is something, something, Annabel Lee. I am my Annabel Lee. Beautiful Annabel Lee. Something like that. Name of it. So that repeating thing is the other refrain that gets repeated throughout the entire thing. Oh, one last thing on this poem. If you look at the rhyme scheme, don't pay attention to the letters, pay attention to the sound. There is a sound that gets repeated throughout the entire poem. As you look at it, you see where it says E, 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 E. The reason is that's supposed to signify him going insane. Because if you keep repeating it, E, 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 it's supposed to be him losing his mind as it goes to the poem. He's like that. He's losing his mind as you go farther and farther and farther into it, and you get to like that last stanza, and it's like because that's where he's gone completely nuts. At least if you take my definition of it. If you're like, no, Mr. Broviak, he's just really sad. Whatever. All right. For the next and last poem, I'm going to have you get rid of your poetry papers. I don't want you to have them out for this one. Make them, don't throw them away because you're still going to need them eventually, but I don't want you looking at them for now. Good job. Just toss them over your shoulder. That was a bold move. I like that one. So let's go. I believe the scientific term for that is yeeting. I think you just yeeted that over your shoulder. Yeet. All right. For this one,
Wait a
this
minute.
poem is going to connect to our, I might do that in just a moment, although most kids are right
You got-
there. On this one, it's going to connect to our story next week. All right, let's see. How many kids do I have? I only have like 4 kids with their screen up, right? Yeah. All right, we'll do a screen check with my 4 kids I have. Most of you guys are on there, so let's do screen check. Which kids do I have to remove as dead children? And Alan's alive. Uh-oh, Lathe is alive, which brings me, Soap is alive. Brings me down to just Henry and Zachary. Let's go ahead and remove you guys as zombies. Oh, nope, Henry just, oh, never mind. You're awake now. All right, and cancel. All right, you can go back to sleeping now. Good job. I watched you wash the sleep right out of your eyes on that one. Well done. You guys passed the zombie check. Into here. No, come back. Camera. Don't do it, camera. Nobody loves you, camera. And here we go. We're back again. And he does not have to turn his camera on because he's an adulty person, so I don't get to yell at adulty person. Good try, though. With this poem, it's only 4 stanzas long. We're gonna break it down bit by bit. We're also gonna bring back more chat challenge. So some of those guys who have not had a chance to win yet, and those of you who want to compete, you're gonna get a chance to chat challenge. Those of you who have already won, you just get to brag and flex on other kids. So we'll give you that chance also. All right. Richard Cory. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean favored and imperially slim. Starting off with, we have a guy named Richard Cory in the poem. Pretty basic. So this first one, we're just finding out information about him, where it says you have a bunch of people in the town and they all see him. Here's where we're going to get to our first chat challenge. It says he was a gentleman from soul to crown. The problem is, hang on, hiccuping.
Soul to crown means like bottom of the foot.
You can't tell me. There, because that would be, there you go. This is where my chat challenge comes in. This is going to be an idiom. So this is an idiom example where they did the literal definition and changed it because they had to make it fit the rhyme scheme. So my question is going, so my question is going to be, what is the idiom it's referring to? Oh, hang on. And where's my chat challenge? Chat. There's my chat. All right. And now it popped up. All right. And the correct answer should be, and hang on. Go here. No, there you go. Head to toe is correct because it was going from the head bit to the toe, and they changed it so it fit the rhyme scheme of town and crown. And inside and out. I like that one too. That would be, who's my first one? Green. You won yet, Green? You have not. So green is on the board. Nicely done. With head to toe, soul to crown. So we're going to find out he is a good person. Oh, nicely done. Oh, you got a lot of people tagging on that one. Go you. And he was a gentleman, a good person from head to toe. Well done. We're not done. We immediately have another chat challenge. Because it's going to say clean favored. Not clean flavored. That's weird. But clean favored, which is telling us something about him. Now, this I'm guessing is one you might not know. I'm fully expecting a lot more guessing on this, but this is telling us something about his character, what kind of person he is when they say that he is clean favored. So this will be more my opinion on how close you get to it. All right, let's see how close you guys get to it with clean favored chat challenge well, no. Oh, you guys aren't quite there. It is not heart of gold. I like how I use an idiom also. Ooh, responsible, not bad. That might be the closest one. Not clean freak. Good person's not bad, Antoinette. I might have given you that one, but you've already won. But you're on, that's not bad. So on that one, so classy, clean, heart of gold. I go with responsible, I think I like, and respect. All right, Ellie, I'm going to go with you on that one because you've not responsible. I like that one because that sort of connects. Let me give you a bit more of an explanation with it. Clean favored is going to your reputation, what kind of rep you have with people. You have no skeletons in your closet. Like when you run for public office, if you want to be president, and all of a sudden found out like when you were a child, you went around like smacking babies, and you're like, what? Everybody smacks babies. Like they don't? Oh man. And so that means you don't have a good reputation. This guy does. He is clean favored, which means he has a good reputation. The next one on there where it says imperially slim, that's not what I'm going to make you guys figure out. Essentially, it means that he is thin, but not like scary thin, not like unhealthy skinny. More like he has like a nutritionist and can pay money to have someone like have him eat all the right foods. He has like a trainer and he goes to the gym and stuff like that. So he's all ripped and buff and good looking, and he's a nice guy, and he's got a good reputation going for him. We get to stanza 2. Stanza 2 says, and he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked, but still he fluttered pulses when he said good morning, and he glittered when he walked. 3 chat challenges in this one. Ready? To get to it. Our first one, and let me give you guys a quick explanation, is going to be quietly arrayed. Now, by itself, that's not a term I expect you to know, but how you are arrayed is how you dress. Like every time Max shows up, he is going to be arrayed in Steelers gear. That is what you are arrayed in. A lot of times whenever I get on Zoom, a lot of my students are arrayed in hoodies because you can hide your bad hair. And all of a sudden, it gets like, and all the hoodies come up over their heads. They are arrayed in hoodies. So arrayed means what you wear or how you are dressed. It says he is quietly arrayed. It has nothing to do with wearing bells. He's not jingly. It's not like, was he a clown and then stopped being a clown? No, but good guess on that one. So my question is going to be, what does quietly arrayed mean when it is telling us something about him? That's my question. Ready? Chat challenge. What do we have here? We have, ooh, not bad. I'm going to go with, technically, Antoinette is the best one on there. So, but Antoinette's already won, so I can't fully give it to you. So it's not just dressed nicely. It's the fact that he is trying not to show off, downplaying it, trying to dress normal. So I can't give it to Antoinette because she's already flexing on kids. And Charters, I would give it to you, Charters, but you've also already won, so you got to flex on people. Ooh, Jeriel, I'm going to give it to Jeriel with his, saying that he dresses regular. I would count that one. Delaney, you were my next one in. You would have had it, but Jeriel just beat you on that one. And Jeriel has not won yet. So saying he dresses regular is correct. So he does not dress up, does not try to show off, tries to just dress as normal as possible. So that's what the quietly, again, this is going to play a role in our poem in just a moment. So if you see him up there and he's got the bling going, he does not wear bling. No big gold grill, no big gold necklace or anything like that. He tries to like dress down and normal and stuff like that. All right, this one real quick. When it says he's always human when he talked, I'm not going to chat challenge this one. What this one essentially means is, oh, here's an example. Yesterday, I sent out a remind message where I was asking kids to leave on camera so I can interact with you because it brings me happiness, makes me not feel so lonely. I had a bunch of kids who emailed me back after I sent that out, which I really appreciated. And a lot of what I got back was kids basically saying, thank you for having a class that I enjoy, or thank you for treating us like normal kids, or not talking down to us and acting like we're idiots. And I'm like, well, I mean, you are, but I don't act like you are, so it's fine. And so a lot of it was the fact that they were thanking me for treating you guys like you're normal people and not little kids. That means I treat you like you're humans. That's what he does. He does not talk down to people. He doesn't act like just because you're not as good looking as he is or not as rich as he is, he does not talk down to people in any way. He treats everybody like they're equal, like I try to do. I try to treat all of you like you're equally dumb and annoying. And that way, no one feels like they're being left out. And it's good. Thank you to all of you who just gave me thumbs up on that one. I felt like we were really bonding there for a second. Like, thank you, Mr. Broviak. I wish all of my teachers called me dumb. I wish all of your teachers would call you dumb too. Someday we can bond on that one too. So that was not our chat challenge. I just wanted to explain that one to you. Here's where the chat challenge comes in. We have another idiom. Our idiom is going to be the part where it says, he flutters pulses. So it means when he walks into the room, all the women see him, and it says he flutters their pulses. So my question is going to be, what does that mean he does, or what does that mean happens whenever he is fluttering pulses? All right, here's our chat challenge and chat challenge. Let's see. Uh-oh. I like your answer, Kate. That made me smile. Congratulations on that one. I always accept honesty. On the right track. You're kind of. Jerio, you're the closest, but that's not exactly it. Ooh, Delaney, I think that's what I'm going with. And he is cute. You are correct. And the fact that Delaney, I'm going with yours because you were the most accurate on that one. Way to take the win. Fluttering pulses is where basically you make them get, hang on, let me show you. Maybe you guys need Broviart to help you out. He is good looking. Nicely done. All the women see him and they get all a giggle when he walks into the room. He doesn't even have to flirt. He just walks and is like, morning, ladies. How you doing? Did you have a good weekend? They're like, oh, Mr. Corey. Ah. You like the giggly arm thing. You know, we've all done it. Like, you know, if Ryan Reynolds walked into my room, I'm like, Ryan Reynolds? Ah. Because Ryan Reynolds is a hunky man. And so I would feel the same way. And so that's what all these girls do. He doesn't even have to flirt with them. It's just like his natural existence makes them all get happy and giggly and makes them excited for him to exist. Nicely done. One last chat challenge. This one's not an idiom, but here's the thing. Earlier, kid died. Hang on. I have to let dead kid back in. Come back, dead kid. We said the fact that he does not dress fancy. You said that he wears regular clothes and does nothing to stand out. But in this line, it says he glittered when he walked. So if we know he's not wearing jewelry, he's not wearing diamonds, he has no gold on him, he has no fancy clothes, how is it he glitters when he walks without any of that? So that's going to be my question on this one. Again, if you've already won, all you do is get bragging rights. Unless nobody wins, then you can win a second time. If nobody gets it and you take it, ready? No. Are you already dancing? You don't know if you've won yet. You can't start dancing yet. Maybe let's find out. Chat challenge. Did I distract you? Let's go with. Ooh, not bad. Bright shine. His smile. Ooh, I like the smile part. He's happy when he walks. I like that one too. Brightly, he is. Ooh. Kate, you can't win, but Kate, I kind of like your answer the best so far. Saying that he is confident. I think that's a solid one. That's for the same thing. The bright, good looking. Ooh, the bright. I think all the other ones had already won. And Finley. I'm gonna go Finley. You're gonna officially get the point. Wait, Max. I needed more than just smile. You just need. I know, but the fact that he's happy when he walks, Finley. I'm gonna give you that one. Go you, Kate. I'm not officially giving you a point, Kate, but I'm giving you a shout out because I like the fact of saying he's confident. I would definitely agree with that one. And then Mina, the bright and good look, say it nicely done. So the fact is, yeah. Have you guys ever seen the Orbitz commercials for the gum? When they like get covered in mud and they smile like ding and things off, like that's what he has. Like he just sort of walks into a room and he just like smiles at people and they're like, oh, look at him. And so he just has that smile going for him. You know you're Snoop Dogg. Nicely done. Trust me, when I typed in Orbit Smile into Google and Snoop Dogg popped up, I'm like, boo, yeah, who else do I choose? So yeah, I threw Snoop Dogg on there because it brought me happiness too. And so same thing. And so yeah, he just has this thing where he smiles and it's like a ding that just sort of pops off his teeth, where again, it's not a grill, it's just he has this look to him, that handsome, confident feel he has going to him, which again, is going to be really important in our poem in a moment. Stanza 3. By the way, I've cut off the end of the poem, so we'll get to that in a second. Stanza 3. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought that he was everything to make us wish that we were in his place. That first part, he's rich. Not like a little bit rich. We're talking like Scrooge McDuck rich, like diving into a giant pile of gold and then swimming in your giant pile of gold and going on your back and spitting gold coins into the air kind of thing, like that kind of gold.
Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun, dun, dun.
You know your song. And so that's the kind of level of rich he is, where when he sneezes, like nickels come out of his eye, and they just like fall out. That's the level of rich that he is. The next one, this is not your chat challenge either. When it says he's admirably schooled in every grace, essentially, he's good at everything he does. He's that, some of you guys have a friend where like they're great at basketball, and then they also have really good grades. And then as soon as they start playing a video game, like they beat you every time in that video game. If they play Among Us, they win every single thing they do. You're like, are you bad at anything? They're like, I'm bad at losing. I never seem to lose. And you're like, oh my God. And you throw your hands in there. Like, that's how he is. He's good at everything he does. No matter what it is, he just has skills at it. All right. Here's my chat challenge for you. On and chat challenge. Okay. This last part where it says, everybody who sees says, we wish that we saw that he has everything and to make us wish that we were in his place, which means all the people in town are jealous of him. They all want to be him because of what he has. So here's my question to you. We've recently read a poem which had characters who had jealousy and made them do a thing because of their jealousy. My question is, what characters in a poem that we recently read dealt with people or characters that were really, really jealous and then did a thing because of this jealousy? That is going to be my question to you. I don't want the poem. I want the characters. Chat challenge. Does anyone know who? And we do. Oh, close, close. And it looks like Blaze. You get a second point, Blaze, because the correct answer is going to be angels.
Oh my god!
Angels.
Let's go!
Because they were the ones who felt jealous on that one. Nicely done, Blaze. You're like my first kid to be able to get a second point on that one.
Let's
Because no
go.
one else answered in time. So yeah, it was the angels that felt jealousy on that, which makes the connection. And then they're the ones who killed the girl and stuff like that. So that was our connection on there. Or Tigger. I'm not sure I remember reading that particular poem.
I lost the point, but then gained 2.
So here's our final part to it. So knowing all that, he's this awesome guy. Everybody loves him. He's good looking. He's rich. Everybody's jealous of him. He's great at everything he does. Keep that in mind for stanza 4. So on we worked and waited for the light and went without the meat and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head. That's the end of the poem. Mr. Broviak, that got real dark. It did get real dark. At end of poem, he commits suicide. Why, Mr. Broviak? Why? So this is my question to you. This is where I prefer to have you guys in person for our conversation because it's a good conversation. Think about the poem. Hang on one second. I'll even put it up there for you. Looking at poem, the information is there. Actually, no. What's not is the poem is going to be your answer. And so this is not a thing where you get to type. I'm going to have you guys actually raise hands if you have an idea. So my question is, why do you think he kills himself from the information in there? Why does he end up making that choice? All right. Kate, what is your thinking?
Because he didn't like all the attention he was getting.
Not a bad thought. That does connect to something along those lines. You're on the right track. Absolutely. Blaze?
He probably has all those stuff and he's like a really great person, but like maybe there's something in his life that's that like he couldn't like stand or something. So
Not either.
Yeah.
I like your thinking there. Tamara, what do you have for me?
Probably trying to get the point across that everybody's not like perfect or something.
Ooh, I like that one also. We're going to get to here in just a second. Jeriel?
That was caught since he was always supposed to be this perfect being that he was always under significant pressure about always having living up to unexpected goals.
Nicely done again. Delaney, what you got for me?
Maybe he was like too happy.
Can you be too happy? I like your thinking though.
I don't
On the right-
know.
Solid answer. I'm not knocking you on that one.
I
Snyder.
doubt who was ever happy at all.
He thought he got too much attention, so he just wanted to be normal.
Not bad too. To go back to what Blaze just said, can you look in the poem? Is there a part where it talks about him being happy? Is
No.
there a part where it talks about his family and friends? And so this is where you get to, he has everything going for him. He sure seems like he has everything there, but they never once talk about him being happy. They never talk about him having good friends. And I think what you guys were talking about is right, was put a lot of pressure on him. He never knew if these people who wanted to, if they put someone wanted to be his friend, is it because they like him or because of what he had? If you're ugly and poor, you know why people want to be your friend, because you're a good person. If you're rich, you're constantly wondering, are people your friend because of what you have or because of who you are? Ooh. Not making it a chat challenge, but curious. I would connect this to a poem I had you guys read last week. Do you know what poem you guys read last week that was similar to the same idea about this stress and pressure from being like all having to be popular and worrying about having everything go for you and stuff like that? Because I would definitely see a connection.
I am nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. The I am nobody poem I thought was the sort of the same thing. Ooh, all right. Here's my last question for you then. I like this poem because I connect it to junior high. Not the dying and the suicide part, which is depressing, but what the poem is trying to teach you. So here's my question also. How does this poem, and again, raise your hand, I'll be more than happy to call on you. How would what this poem what happens in here, connect to junior high life? Not necessarily the death part, but the other parts of it. How would that connect to what you guys have going on right now? I see almost bravery. I don't want to call you out unless you want to commit to your bravery on that one. All right. Delaney, I see bravery in you. What do you have, Delaney?
Maybe like some people like seem like they're happy, but they have like issues at home or something.
Nicely done, Delaney. Yes. Kate?
Or people could be overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Again, I agree. Tamara?
Would say the popular people, like they get praised or whatever, but they might go home and not really like it.
Nicely done again. This is why I wish I had you guys here in class. These are the great conversations and comments I wanted. Snyder?
They could act different at school and then go home and it'd be totally different.
Yeah. That's for you guys. Exactly. So the fact is, I like this poem because even though it ends with that depressing bit, a lot of it is, yeah, that popular people have a lot of friends, or at least as far as you can tell, they have a lot of friends. To connect it to my life real quick, as a teacher, I have a lot of kids who tend to use me as a therapist, who come and talk to me after school or talk to me on Remind or talk to me on email and send me messages, and I talk to them nonstop. And I get to have conversations with both the really popular kids who come to talk to me and the outcast kids who come to talk to me. And it's interesting seeing how often everybody seems to think everybody else has the perfect life, where everyone thinks the popular kid's life is perfect. And the popular kid oftentimes hates their life. It's like, I wish I was not popular because everything I do is being scrutinized. And every time I do a thing, my friends turn to drama. Like, I wish I could just fade into the background and be like that kid who has no. And so it's interesting for me that everybody always thinks that somebody else's life is perfect, as opposed to just realizing you live the life that you have. So anyway, I like the poem. Plus, it really connects to our story next week when we get into Shadow Club, the idea of not judging other people, because next week takes that idea and introduces violence and attacking other people, and it goes into all kinds of drama and fun stuff from there. The only thing worse than that is class being over. And now we have to end and you're not going to see me again until next week. So you have all weekend. The only homework I'm giving you is to turn in your missing work. Beyond that, that's it. And if you want me to come drop off a book at your house, I'm more than happy to come and drop off a book at your house. Honestly, from my heart, thank you guys today. Today's class was perfect for me. This is exactly what I wanted. You guys made teaching fun.
Bye,
I
Dad.
absolutely appreciate it.
All right.
Mr.
Goodbye.
Robiak, toodaloo.
Max,
Bye,
what's
Mr.
up?
Broviak.
Bye.
I have a Simpsons sheet that I filled out. How do I send it to you?
So go on there. You're going to draw a line across it and then write today's date and then send it to me in a remind picture, and then I will give you credit for it. And that way
Draw
I
a
know
line
you
across it.
crossed.
What do you mean?
So like you would just go like draw a line across the entire sheet and then write the date across it. So that way I know, like that way you can't reuse that same sheet again. And then that way I know
Okay.
it's been crossed out and then I can give you points for it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Broviak,
Hey, what's up?
can you deliver it to me on Saturday? If you
Put
can.
it in, send me the message and put it on there and I should be able to. I'll try to
Okay.
find a way to get to you. Yep. Just make sure you explain that to me and I'm more than happy to help you out.
All right.
Cool.